Silo has dropped a trailer for its next season, and with the new season set to premiere on July 3, 2026, we already have some huge questions in our mind. The trailer makes one thing very clear. It's also going to take us back to the beginning and explore how silos came into existence in the first place. That means we're finally going to see the world before the underground nightmare, the people who shaped it, and the conspiracy that pushed humanity into a system built on secrets, fear, and control. So let's take a look at everything we might get to see in Season 3 of Silo, and what major questions the show may finally answer.
We do not know who built the silo.
Origin of the Silos. Remember that major cliffhanger from the Season 2 finale, where the show suddenly jumped away from Juliet and Bernard in the burning airlock and took us to two people talking in Washington, D.C.? That scene was not showing us the present-day surface suddenly becoming safe. It was taking us back to the before times, long before the world of the Silos became the world we know. That is the biggest shift Season 3 seems ready to make. The past two seasons kept us trapped in mystery, just like the people inside Silo 18. We did not know who built the silos, why they were built, what happened outside, or who was really controlling everything. But now, Season 3 seems ready to open that door. Apple's official synopsis confirms that Season 3 will continue Juliet Nichols' story in the present while also revealing an origin story set centuries earlier. In the present, Juliet survives her forced cleaning but returns with memory loss as the silo recovers from rebellion and faces a dangerous new threat. In the before times, journalist Helen Drew and Congressman Daniel Keane uncover a conspiracy that pulls them into catastrophic, irreversible events. That means Season 3 is finally going to give us light, both literally and figurative. We're not just going to see more of the dark staircases, tunnels, and locked rooms. We're going to see the outside world before it was destroyed and maybe understand how everything went so wrong. For two seasons, the biggest question was what is outside. Now the bigger question becomes who made it this way? Helen Drew is going to chase the story. The Season 2 finale introduced two mysterious characters who were clearly linked to the origin of the silos. One of them was a government official. The other was a journalist looking for answers. That journalist is Helen Drew, played by Jessica Henwick, and she may become one of the most important new characters in the entire series. Helen seems to be our investigator from the outside world. She's not living in a silo. She's not bound by the past. She's not trapped inside the roles Juliet grew up with. She exists in the world before everything fell apart, and that gives her a completely different kind of power. She can ask questions. She can follow a story. She can push people in authority, and from what we know, that is exactly what she's going to do. Jessica Henwick has described her storyline as going back to the beginning, with a grounded, real-world character was simply a journalist following a story. That makes Helen very different from Juliet, but also strangely similar to her. Juliet investigates from inside the system. Helen investigates before the system fully exists. The scary part is that we already know Helen probably does not stop the catastrophe. If she had, there would be no silos. So the real tension is not just whether she discovers the truth, it's whether discovering the truth comes too late. That is what makes her storyline so exciting. Helen may be the person who uncovers the conspiracy, but she may also be the person forced to watch the world ignore the warning signs. Daniel Keane may be the man in the middle. The before times part of the synopsis is really important because Daniel Keane is not just some random politician. He's a congressman, and he's clearly positioned right at the center of the conspiracy Season 3 is about to explore. In the books, a related character named Donald Keane plays a major role in the origin of the Silo project. The show has changed that name to Daniel Keane, and creator Graham Yost has confirmed that the series has changed parts of the origin story in significant ways. So, while book readers may have a rough idea of what kind of role Daniel could play, the show is clearly not copying everything exactly. That makes Daniel even more interesting. He may be someone inside the system who starts out believing he's doing the right thing. He may be someone who knows more than Helen does. He may also be someone who slowly realizes that the people around him are building something far more dangerous than he imagined. Imagine Daniel as the person standing between public politics and secret planning. Helen wants answers. powers. Daniel may already have some, but if he is tied to the people who created the silos, then every choice he makes could help shape the next several centuries of human history. That is a huge responsibility, and in Silo, responsibility usually comes with secrets, guilt, and blood. The most interesting thing about Daniel is that he may not be a simple villain. He could be a man pulled into something too large to escape, and if Season 3 handles him well, he could become one of the most tragic figures in the show. A bigger threat is coming. There's always a bigger threat in Silo. First, we thought the danger was outside. Then, we realized the screens were lying. Then, we learned there were other silos. Then Season 2 introduced the Safeguard, which may be one of the most terrifying ideas in the entire series. The Safeguard suggests that a silo can be destroyed from within if the people in power decide it is necessary. And if the algorithm really controls or triggers that kind of system, then the people inside the silo are not just trapped by rules. They're trapped inside a machine that can kill them. Season 3's official synopsis mentions a dangerous new threat in the present timeline. That could mean the Safeguard. It could mean the algorithm. It could mean something connected to Silo 17. Or it could mean something even bigger that the show has not fully revealed yet. Remember, Season 2 showed us that some people from Silo 17 managed to go outside and survive longer than expected before eventually dying. The full explanation of what happened to them is still not completely clear. Season 3 may finally answer that. Only Juliet may have the key to understanding it. But there's a problem. She returns with memory loss. That means the one person who might have carried the most important answers back to Silo 18 cannot fully access. That is a nightmare situation. The silo is unstable. Rebellion has already shaken the system, and now the person everyone needs may not remember the thing that could save them. Juliet may not have all the answers. Let's go back to the most important present-day development. Juliet Nichols survives her forced cleaning and returns to the silo, but she comes back with memory loss. Now that is a brutal twist. One would hope Juliet's return would immediately give the people of Silo 18 answers. She's been outside. She's seen another silo. She has learned about the Safeguard. She has survived things no one else in her world has survived. But if she cannot remember everything clearly, then her return becomes complicated instead of, comfort. The trailer suggests that Juliet is trying to recover fragments of memory. She knows something is important. She knows something is missing, but she cannot fully put the pieces together yet. And this is happening at the worst possible time. The silo is recovering from rebellion. Bernard's fate remains uncertain after the Season 2 finale. Camille Sims appears to be stepping into a larger role. Robert Sims is still a force inside the power structure, and the people of Silo 18 have seen enough to know that the official story is falling apart. Nobody has the luxury of waiting patiently for Juliet to heal. If Juliet becomes a symbol of truth but cannot remember the truth clearly, then Season 3 has a very strong emotional hook. She's not just fighting the system anymore. She's fighting her own mind, and that may be more frightening than any locked door in the silence. We will finally see more of the surface. If you were a bit tired of the darkness inside the silos, Season 3 seems ready to give you something different. We're finally going to see more of the world outside, but not necessarily the poisoned surface Juliet walked. We're going to see the before times when there was still sunshine, cities, politics, journalism, and normal life. That matters because it reminds us what was lost. Graham Yost has talked about how the show will be outdoors, a world with sunshine. That's not just a visual upgrade, it's a storytelling choice. The more beautiful the world looked before the catastrophe, the more painful the present becomes. For 2 seasons, Silo made darkness feel normal. Staircases, metal walls, hidden cameras, control rooms, mines, mechanical levels, and screens became the show's visual language. Season 3 gets to break that pattern, and when we see the world above ground, we may finally understand how much humanity has destroyed. The outside world is not just there to make the show brighter, it's there to make the tragedy larger. A lot more back and forth in time. If you're wondering how Season 3 will handle both the past and present timelines, well, you're not alone. The show has already played with parallel storytelling before. Season 2 moved between Juliet and Silo 17 and the rebellion building inside Silo 18, but Season 3 seems ready to go even further. This time, we will have Juliet's fractured present-day journey inside the silo and Helen and Daniel's before times conspiracy outside the silo. Each timeline timeline will answer different questions. Each timeline will probably create new ones. The season 2 finale already showed how strange that shift can feel. One moment we were trapped in fire with Juliet and Bernard. The next, we were in a bar in Washington, D.C., watching two people talk about politics and dirty bombs. It almost felt like someone changed the channel, right? And that was the point. Season 3 may use that tonal shift as a feature, not a mistake. The present timeline is heightened, claustrophobic, and emotionally intense. Past timeline is grounded, political, and real world. Putting those two styles inside one season could make the show feel bigger than ever. It may also make the mystery more satisfying. We'll not just be told what happened, we will watch it unfold from both ends. Juliet is trying to understand the beginning from the future. Helen and Daniel are walking into the beginning without knowing what future they're creating. That is a powerful struggle. What pushed humanity underground? This is the biggest question of all. Why did humanity go underground? For 2 seasons, Silo has kept us hooked on the mystery of the outside. We learned the outside is toxic. We learned the green world shown to cleaners is fake. We learned there are many silos. We learned there are systems designed to control or even kill entire populations. But we still don't know the full truth about what caused the world to become this way. Season 3 may finally answer that. The Before Time story centers on Helen Drew and Daniel Keane uncovering a conspiracy. The Season 2 finale already hinted at dirty bombs, political manipulation, and a world sliding towards catastrophe. The books involve the World Order Operation 50 idea, known as WOOL, and a planned survival system tied to underground silo. The show may adapt the concept, but it has already made changes, so we should not assume every book detail will happen exactly the same way. What matters is that Season 3 appears ready to show us the machinery behind the apocalypse. The trailer even suggests that the first people entering the silos may not have looked terrified. Some appear to enter willingly, maybe even happily. That raises a terrifying possibility. Were they told the truth? Were they tricked? Did they think they were entering a temporary safety system? Or did only a few powerful people know the full plan? That is the horror of Silo. The prison may have been sold as protection. Juliet once says that before they can know why they are here, before they can know why everything is as it is, and before they know how it all will end, they need to understand how it all began. Now, that is the heart of Season 3. For the last 2 seasons, Silo kept us asking what was outside. Now the show is asking something even more disturbing. Who built the lie? And if Season 3 does not give us all the answers, then the algorithm only knows.